أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه من سنة بسنتهم الدين أما بعد. Inshallah, today our topic will be on fasting, siyam. And we want to start first of all with the definition of the word som or siyam. Rasulullah sallallahu he said, "As-sawmu junnah." Sawmu junnah. Junnah literally in Arabic language means like a shield, a barrier. If you see an arrow coming your way, you pick up a small shield to save yourself from the arrow. You're basically shielding yourself from that. So the definition, literal definition from the hadith of Rasulullah of fasting is, it's a shield from the hellfire of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-sawmu junnah min nar jahannam. The fasting is a shield from the hellfire of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in akhirah. Now, we come to the literal definition. This is what we call the istilahi or scientific definition or the sharia definition of sawm. The linguistic, literal Arabic definition of the word sawm is al-imsaku or al-imtina'u ala shay. The Arabs, the linguistic Arabs, define the word sawm al-imsak. Imsak literally means to hold on. Let's say I throw this pen, I caught it. This is imsak because it was falling down. So I caught it right when it's falling down. So literally what it means, the word sawm, is to hold on to. Hold on or restrict or stop. Al-imsaku al-imtina'u. Imtina' from mana'. Mana' means forbiddance. Al-imsaku al-imtina'u ala shay. Anything. Sawm does not only mean, the misconception people have that the word sawm means no eating and drinking. No. The literal definition of the word sawm is holding on to or forbidding or stopping from entrance into something of something. That's the literal definition. Now, when it comes to our Sharia of Islam and the Sharia of Muhammad sallallahu, we see that the sawm is holding on to food, drink, any kind of sexual activity. Everything else has been allowed. Talking is allowed. Looking at people is allowed. Of course, the same gender, I mean. And dealing with people is allowed. Because once upon a time, in another Sharia, the Sharia that was existent on earth in the time of Mary, which was at the same time the Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam was there. In that time, sawm also meant holding on from talking, meaning closing your mouth. If somebody would come up to you, you will just say from sign language, or you just say inni sa'im. Like somebody comes up to you, assalamu alaikum wa sallam, how are you? Inni sa'im. That will give an indication to the person, oh, they're fasting, so we cannot talk to them. This was in their Sharia. In Surah Maryam, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu says that فَقُولِ إِنِّي نَظَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا. فَقُولِ إِنِّي نَظَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا. When she was very perturbed, when she was very anxious, in anxiety that, oh, I'm going to get this baby and then people are going to be coming and asking me what's going to happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed her through Jibreel that, look, tell the people, Jibreel alayhi salam told Mary, that if people come asking you and pestering you about this thing, just tell them, inni nadartu lirrahmani sawma. That word is used over there in definition of sawm. So we understand from the Quran and from the Hadith that the literal definition of sawm means holding on to something. So holding off from talking is also sawm. But although in our Sharia it is not there. This is from the rahmah of Allah that He allowed us to talk but not eat or drink. So this is in terms of the definition and ta'rif of sawm. Now let us look into the aspects of fasting. First and foremost, obligation. What is the obligation of fasting? It is fard or wajib on every Muslim and Muslimah who fulfill three conditions. There are thalathatu shurut, three conditions. If any of these three conditions are met, automatically fasting is wajib. I'm explaining this in a very technical way, slowly, bit by bit, so we can understand. So that's why we're using the technical language, conditions. What are the three conditions that have to be met? Number one, al-Islam. Person has to be Muslim. If a person is kafir, rejecter in Allah, some other rejecter of the faith, they may fast 30 days, they may fast the whole day and night, they may not eat anything. but it's written nothing. It's not even qubul, it's not even accepted. Because the shart of this is that you have to first submit to Allah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. So a kafir and a mushrik, no use of fasting. They could just bodily stop eating and drinking, could be on a hunger strike, but it would not be la tu'tabar as-siyam. It would not be counted as siyam. So condition number one that has to be met is that a person has to be Muslim. Condition number two, al-aql, brain. The person has to be in sound brain. What I mean by sound brain or sound intellect, the scholars have defined that the person should be in their senses. Or what the linguistic definition is laysa majnoon. Majnoon is someone who is psychiatrically handicapped. So that's why they are in a psychiatric hospital. Why? Because there's another hadith of Rasulullah. He said, "Rufi al-qalam an thalatha." The pen has been raised or lifted on three people. An-na'imu hatta yastayqiz. This is a hadith of Rasulullah, a categorical, technical definition. That the pen, what does he mean by the pen? Accountability. It will be not written for them. It will not be written for them any sins or any aspects in these three conditions. So when a person is sleeping, anything happens while in their sleep, it's not counted for them. Number two, al-majnoon, the person who is insane. So insanity is one of the reasons that if a person is insane and they're Muslim, let's say they fulfill the first condition, they're Muslim, but that Muslim is insane, they're mentally handicapped, fasting is not wajib on them. Nobody can force them. Nobody can come in the psychiatric hospital and say, hey, you're a Muslim, sorry, we can't give you food and drink during the day. That person is out of their mind, they're insane, they're insanity. This is the beauty of Islam, the deen. Look how merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, how Rahman Rahim He is. That He is not making fasting as a compulsory act on every Tom, Dick and Harry. You know, every single person that exists in this world and is Muslim is fard on you fasting. No, there are shurut of siyam, conditions of fasting that must be met. Number one, person has to be Muslim. Okay, let's say he's Muslim. He or she is a Muslim, fine. But what about if they're insane? They don't have to be. So we have to be in our sound mind. Of course, 99% of the Muslims in the world, we can say, are insane mind. That's why this condition is met. And that's why they're fasting. Condition number three, shartu thalith. The third condition for the person to be wajib upon them is fasting is al-bulugh. Bulugh means reaching puberty. That is why as-sabi. Sabi means a child. A girl and a boy that is below the age of puberty, it's not mandatory on them fasting. So to conclude, on whom is the obligation of fasting? Whoever fulfills three conditions is Muslim, is mentally sound and capable, sane, is number three, has reached the age of puberty. Which we cannot really pinpoint which age, because this is a biological difference in the body that happens and change. For girls it may be a different age, for boys a different age. But they can tell that when they have biologically transformed their body, now they have to fast. Before that, they're off the hook. But however, let me stress a point over here, that if there are children in household, they should be encouraged to fast at whatever age they would want to, because Rasulullah said that give targheeb, give encouragement to your kids to pray and fast and do other, even sadaqah from a young age. Why? Because Islam publicizes a habit forming system. If a child is praying from young age, that's why Rasulullah said in another hadith that when your children are 7 years old, start encouraging them to start praying. By age 10, start manifesting in them. Even if you have to discipline them, be strict with them, do it by age 10. And then by age 12, they better start praying. If they don't pray, you should do iqab, you should do punishment for them for not praying. Why in such a traditional way of 7 and then 10 and 12, same thing in fasting? Rasulullah said, encourage children fast. Because if children are used to fasting, when fasting suddenly becomes wajib on them, fard, after they've reached puberty, it will not be thaqeel upon them. It will not be heavy, burdening on them. It will be easy. Because they'll say, hey, when I was 7, I used to fast. Although it may be only one day in the whole Ramadan, but I used to fast. That was good. Age 9, 10, 11, they say, oh, I've been used to it. So when they reach puberty and they now have to fast 30 straight days back to back, it'll be a breeze for them and not difficult.